Hello everyone. Today I would like to introduce you to our new BSc program in Ocean Science and Technology. As we all know, the ocean has been providing us with a lot of resources in terms of providing a space for infrastructure development, providing food, providing recreation, and also providing trade route. But as a result, we have been taking too much from the ocean and leading to pollution, habitat destruction, over-harvesting, and also the reduction of biodiversity. Now the damage to the ocean become even more obvious under the effects of climate change. For example, with the warming ocean, the sea level raises and the likelihood of hurricane and also the associated storm surge become much more frequent than before. And I'm sure that you will still remember what happened when the last super typhoon hit Hong Kong in 2018. Now, under the warming ocean, this kind of disaster is expected to happen in a larger scale and in a much more frequent manner. So the ultimate question is, how are we able to utilize our ocean resources in a sustainable way? The key to that question would be knowledge. With a sufficient knowledge, we will be able to raise the awareness of the public about our effects on the ocean, and the public would be able to change their behavior to protect the ocean. With knowledge, we are also able to develop new technology to remediate our effect on the ocean. And also with knowledge, the government would be able to make appropriate policy to protect the ocean resources. So this is why we have created a new program in ocean science and technology. This is the first and thus far the only ocean-focused program in Hong Kong. It features an integrative curriculum that cuts across basic science, technology, and socio-economical aspects of ocean science and technology. This program is suitable for students who are interested in having a career path or higher studies in the field of conservation and protection of marine resources, R&D in marine biotechnology, ocean exploration, and also other environment-related disciplines. We feature a cross-disciplinary curriculum. In that, we have courses in basic science, in technology, and also in innovation. In the science spectrum, we have courses in different disciplines of oceanography. We will teach students about the relationship between ocean and climate change, marine ecotoxicology, environmental microbiology, for example. In terms of the technology aspect, we teach students different kinds of technology that can be used in the protection and also exploration of the ocean. For example, pollution source tracking, remote sensing, geographic information system, and also GPS. Our program also encourages students to become very innovative in terms of having new ideas that can turn into a technology to protect the ocean. So therefore, we emphasize research projects. We emphasize studentship so that the student will be connected to the real world before they graduate. And we also offer a course in design thinking, helping them to design new tools for us to investigate the ocean. In terms of the instruction of the way that we will teach the program, there are several activities that we emphasize. One will be the classroom lecture, laboratory section, site visit, internship, research project, and also blended learning courses. Now we emphasize a lot in terms of connecting our students to the real world, connecting the knowledge that they learn from the classroom, from the lab, to the real setting in the world. So therefore we offer a lot of experiential learning activities and also exchange activities. In terms of experiential learning, we have a lot of projects that allow students to, first of all, acquire a basic knowledge in a particular discipline in ocean science, and then they will engage the public and transfer the knowledge to the public. For example, we have a project currently now trying to help the public understand how important the protection of intertidal mudflats is. So the students in this project, first of all, they need to learn about the ecosystem function of the intertidal mudflats. And then they need to devise public education activities and ultimately communicate the knowledge to the public. We also have a similar project in Lantau Island to tell the public how important the Lantau habitat actually is to Hong Kong. Now, we have also developed a mobile app to facilitate students' learning. Using this mobile app, for example, when students go to a field site, when they see a particular species, they can take a photo using the camera function of the mobile phone, and using the photo album already stored in the mobile app, they would be able to identify the species that they have observed in the field site. And they can also use the AR technology in the app to try to learn more about the interaction between the organism and the physical environment in the field site that they visit. The entire learning progress can be recorded on the app so that they can always look at what they have learned, they can revise, and they can keep track of their learning progress. Now, very often after a field trip, we would take the samples back to the lab for analysis. Traditionally, the lab manuals are written on a piece of paper, but using this mobile app, we have already stored the manual on the mobile app, and the students would be able to follow the instruction by just looking at the mobile phone, and the student can also record the result of the experimental section directly on the phone. We try to offer as many exchange activities to the students as possible because we want them to see how the marine environment is beyond Hong Kong. For example, we have a long-lasting relationship with a university in Japan. Every year we take our students to Japan to have a field trip to look at geological features, marine habitats that they are unable to see in Hong Kong, so as to enrich their view, to broaden their view in terms of the diversity of the marine environment on a global basis. We also take students to mainland China. So what the students do would be to take samples from particular field sites in Hong Kong and also a comparative field sites in China, and then they would bring the samples back to the lab and do a comparative analysis so that they would be able to compare how the same kind of ecosystem would look like in different places. Now, in terms of career prospect, we anticipate that our students would be able to engage in three major sectors. One would be to become a scientist, okay, in the academic world, become an educator, and become a professional in civil service or consultant services. Now, the type of positions available, the type of jobs available would be, for example, in the field of the conservation of marine resources, R&D in marine technology, ocean exploration, as well as environment-related disciplines. These positions are available in the private sector, in the public sector, as well as in the universities. Now, lots of students may wonder, why do we need such a program in Hong Kong? Hong Kong is so small, and it looks like that Hong Kong does not have a very rich marine resources. But I can tell you here that the perception is actually incorrect. First of all, 60% of the area in Hong Kong is actually in the marine environment, and we have a very long coastline up to 1,000 kilometers that feature a very high diversity of coastal habitats. In this small city, we have even more coral species than what you can find in the Caribbean Sea. We host over 1,000 different types of marine fish, accounting for 1/3 of the species that you will see in the entire South China. Now, although we have such rich biodiversity in Hong Kong, but the integrity of our ecosystem is actually under pressure because of the extensive infrastructure that we are building in the marine environment. So therefore, to balance development and conservation, we need graduates with the specialty in understanding the marine environment so as to contribute to the society. Now, besides taking a job in the company or in the government, we also encourage the students to think about whether it's possible for them to develop their own business. For example, the ecotourism is an actually up-and-coming business sector in Hong Kong. So, for example, we are thinking that if our students would be able to learn about the Hong Kong marine environment, be able to have the skills to explain the knowledge to the public, perhaps they can even consider to run their own ecotourism company. Finally, we encourage our students to not just to look within Hong Kong in terms of finding a job. They may as well look into the regional and also international sector to find their suitable jobs. And finally, if you would like to have more information about our program, I will encourage you to visit our website as well as our Facebook page. And finally, I hope to be able to see you here in our program next year. Thank you.